Hi everyone, it's Tuesday, November 13th. This is Talk to Me Tuesday, and I'm Abby. I'm going to keep this short. I'm not feeling well. I've got a sinus infection again. As you can see on the wall over here, after chatting with a couple of you, I did go ahead and do the columns a light and a dark, and I really like that effect on it. I think that's going to come out great. So all I have to do, I started putting some of the rows together, and there's just a few blocks that I had to cut out and rearrange, and I didn't want anything of the same pattern to be next to each other. So that could be challenging, and some were directional prints. So, it's going to work. The other thing is I'm playing with my, well, playing with my fabric cutter. I think I was talking to Jennifer about this, and I'm in charge of next month's blocks. So I thought I have a whole bunch of creams and whites that were given to me from our inventory from the Quilt Guild. So I'm going to do the churn dash, but what I want to do is go in my stash and have this perhaps the opposite, so that the inner color ones are white and then the outer ones are colored. I might play with it first and see how that goes, because I know if I put directions like that, inevitably there's going to be somebody that's not going to follow it. So maybe as long as they do a churn dash, I should be thankful and happy and everything else. One of the other blocks that I got, this is all on clearance at Joann's. They're discontinuing it. I want to try this one. I had done used a curved ruler, and where you do the oversized block and then you trim down. Well, now I want to learn the way that a lot of people do, with pitting in the middle and then making it go to each end. But they have some neat patterns on the back. I want to try this one, I think, and see what I can come up with that. The other thing I did was, while watching the football game the other night, I cut out more tumble blocks. I'm probably going to be sick of tumble blocks like within a week or so. Anyways, I threw that up on the wall. I cut those out for like an hour and a half with my husband watching the game on Sunday. And then I threw it up on the wall yesterday. So here is that, a preview. So behind me are some fabrics I've been collecting for a couple of years. I'm a Francophile, and I've been obsessed with anything French. And I think I told you I studied over there, I lived over there. So I have all these French fabrics. Well, not from France, but they're French fabrics, French themed. And I've been wanting to do something with it, and I went ahead and cut out all these tumblers, and I've thrown it up on the wall, and I don't really like it right now. Um, so I might donate this, or I might play with it, because I'm not sure right now. I think looking at the two dark ones right here, I might go ahead and try to make the I don't even know what they're called. Looks like a lantern, and maybe match up the fabrics, and maybe I'll like it better then. Um, Going back to the AccuQuilter, this past weekend I took a chance and went to the Joann's, that's about an hour away, to see if they had any blocks, because while sitting in church, I thought, you know what I'd like to do is some sort of family tree thing, and maybe if I had leaves, then I could do it for my mom and my mother-in-law. So they did have a die available that had leaves. So I bought that, and I came home, and a couple of years ago at one of our quilt shops, they had done row by row, and I think they had maple leaves that they had cut out, and they were selling bags of all their leftover, as you can see right here, leftover from their cutting out all these leaves, like hundreds of leaves. And it was a scrap bag. So I bought the scrap bag, and I haven't done too much with it. So what I did was I went through and cut out what I could with the die cutters, and they're already As you can see, they already have the stuff on the back, the sticky stuff, which is nice. So I went through, and some of the pieces weren't big enough, but I was able to manage to get quite a few leaves cut out from different fabrics. And these are mostly, the fabrics that were in the scrap bag were fallish colors. So I got some oak leaves, and from the bigger ones I didn't get as many. And you can see why, because they're bigger. This is probably even the same dye that they used. I got some maple leaves, which is always fun. And then I went through the bag again, because on this die cut they also had pumpkins and acorns, and then I also had a circle one. So I got a few pumpkins that are all cut out and ready to go, which is fun. Maybe I'll make something for, Paul's aunt is hosting us for Thanksgiving this year. And then these are so cute, little acorns. I can have all different colors. And then I went through, after I did the leaves first and then the acorns and the pumpkins, I went through again, and gosh, I used up so much of this stuff. I did a whole bunch of just 2-inch circles. So I'm thinking I might do some sort of modern quilt with that. I don't know. Something's, gonna strike me on the head. I'm fascinated by what I can do with all these circles. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. This might have to be after Christmas, because I really need to get some things done. Anyways, that's it for today. I'm hoping to be back in here this weekend. I did have a workshop last Saturday, and it was really interesting. It was called Beyond Rows and Columns. It was a design class, and I think what I'll do is for next Tuesday, I'll show you what I did in that. Happy crafting. See you next week.